Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're back. If you don't know me, my name is JD Savage. I'm a high six-figure affiliate marketer. What I do is I teach people to make money here on YouTube on my channel, and Perfect Millionaires, that's my channel as well as my business. So specifically, as I said, affiliate marketing. So I take specific platforms in the affiliate marketing arena, and I vet those platforms. I make sure they do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. I make money with those platforms, and then I build out entire courses on YouTube, and I give them to you for free. And I show you exactly what to do with specific platforms. I don't offer generic information about, hey, pick a product on Amazon and go try to make it work. That rarely works out because there's a lot of factors depending upon what type of product it is and all that sort of thing. And I don't tend to move a lot of products. I tend to stick mostly to services because it just has a lot less problems. So if you like this kind of content, give me a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified when I release new content. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today, and I've made videos similar to this, but I'm just going to get really down and dirty here with what it is that really allows people to do what I'm talking about. And without further delay, I'm kind of like belaying the point, am I? Right? So creating content, right? Creating content and feeling authentic about creating content. That's where I'm coming from. So I get a lot of these kind of questions. Like I got a question recently, and I won't mention any names, and we kind of laughed about it after, but you know who you are. You said, well, how can I appear more authentic? That's not a question really, like, I don't know how to answer that, right? How do you appear more authentic? Well, the best thing to do would just to be authentic, right? So that's kind of where I want to go with this. I'm going to show you guys something, and really this is just my take on it. This is just my opinion, right? I've taught a lot of people how to do this that were afraid to do it or uncomfortable or whatever label you want to put on it. I'm not here to label you, but if you're not comfortable turning on the camera and doing this right here, what I'm doing right now, there's probably a few reasons for it, and I'm going to share with you some mind hacks that work well for me and in hopes that they'll work well for you, right? And I think they're pretty logical, but as humans and as a society, we've got all these rules about how it is and what it is and all that type of thing. So let's just get right down to it. Okay, I took some notes here because I didn't want to leave anything out. So if you're doing what I'm teaching you to do, here's what people are looking for. They're looking for a solution to their problem. Okay, so if you're concerned about people are judging you or they're looking at you or you've got a hair out of place or you make a funny face or any of that stuff, right? Here's the reality. They don't really care. They don't give a damn. I mean, I can't be any more clear than that. What they want to know is, what have you got and why should they care, right? So I don't know if that adds pressure to you. For me, it subtracts pressure because here's the truth. If that's what they're looking for, if that's what you're here on this channel, if that's why you're watching this video, for example, and I'm offering you solutions to a problem that you have, do you care if my hat is black or red or if I have a white shirt on or a yellow shirt on or, you know, if there's hairs out of place on my mustache or whatever? Do you really care? Probably not. I mean, there are people that's their job. They just go around and critique people, but most people are pretty nice, right? They overlook things, right? Could I do this better? Could I do that better? Sure. What are you really concerned about? If you're watching this video this far in, I'm guessing you're thinking, hey, maybe this guy has some solutions to get me over this hump so that I can just go do what I need to do and have the life that I want to have and live the way that I want to live. And I believe I do. So that's the part where the next piece here is, if you want to relieve yourself of the burden of feeling like, you know, you're, well, a couple things. A, selling people things. Don't sell people things. Just give value, bring good content, bring things that are actually helpful to people, right? So this whole series that I've created, this will be part of that series, Mind Hacker's Playbook to Millions, right? It's not a sales thing, man. That's not what it's about. It's about learning how to do the things that you actually want to do so that you can have the life that you want, because all of us have hangups. All of us have these things that hold us back, right? So just focus on this. Try to take yourself out of the equation, okay? And I made a little note here. Don't assume that people are focused on you, because in large part, they're not really. I mean, they're really not. You might be looking at me now and thinking, oh yeah, you don't think so? Well, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but that's human nature because I'm bringing this to the forefront. So just acknowledge the fact that if you're nervous to get on it because you think people are focused on you, look, here's my real version of that. And this is just my opinion, but I believe it firmly because I've coached a lot of people in my life. And here's what I see. They're not focused on you. They don't really care. You know, maybe care to the extent that you're a human and you're in front of them, but they don't really care. They're looking for a solution. So go back to this, my focus is to bring value, to offer you a solution to a problem you're facing, right? And in this case, a free solution. Here you go. If this works for you and you start thinking about what I'm saying and it resonates with you and you can put it to task and not worry so much about, and I don't mean it's an immediate solution, but if you really just think through what I'm saying, it's logical, right? When you're watching me right now, are you hoping that whatever I can bring you has value and helps you solve that problem and just be able to turn that camera on and go to work? Right. That makes sense. If you're focused on my hat or my beard needs trimmed, or whatever. You're focused on the wrong thing, right? And it's not going to get you anywhere. Hopefully what you came to this video for, based on the title and the video content, is to find a solution that allows you to create content in an authentic way. So let's go back to that for a minute. The authentic part, right? Focus on bringing value. Look, if you just focus on bringing value to people, and this really is the best advice that I can give you. Just bring value. That's it, right? Do your homework, do your research, know about what you're talking about. You don't have to know everything, but you need to be committed to what you're saying. Because here's where that feeling comes from, in my opinion. That feeling that, I'm selling somebody something. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand if in fact it works. And you have your own self-interest at heart. And what you're really doing is trying to, as that was said to me recently, trying to appear to be concerned. So here's the solution. Actually be concerned, right? Think about other people. Think about their situation. And you might say, well, hey, I got my own bills. I got my own kids to worry about. I got my own. Right. And that's exactly how you're going to appear if you take that approach. Desperate and not honest, right? And this isn't to insult anybody. I told you I was going to get down and dirty with this video. And I'm just being blunt. If what you have in mind, and I get this from people, they're like, hey man, I'm way behind and this happened and that happened and I need to make this work and from ground zero in 30 days. Okay, good luck. That's not what I'm here teaching people. I'm not a get rich quick guy. I will teach you to build something sustainable that will last so that you can have the life you want and to provide your family the life that you want them to have and do the things that you want to do. But it doesn't happen that fast, right? I've seen people do it. But it's much like anything. It's like those, crash diets. They don't seem to last because it's not built on a solid foundation, right? And not to be too corny, but you've heard all of those sayings about, build on a solid foundation, build the foundation first, then build up. It's all true. It all makes sense, right? Like if you get in a habit of eating well and exercising, guess what? Odds are you're going to be in pretty decent shape, right? Both internally and externally. So the same here. If you get in good financial habits and you get in the habit of doing things that create cash flow, and you continue to do those, and then you improve upon those as you go, guess what? You've got a solid foundation. You got a future. But if you get lucky and you throw out some ads and you strike a few sales, and then you throw out 5 more ads and you don't get any sales and your money goes down the tubes because you've spent more now than you created, you see where I'm going with this? So the simplest thing, really, I swear to you guys, focus on bringing value. Focus on actually being helpful to the people that you're talking to, and it will relieve so much pressure on you. Because see, if you know for sure, even if you are in a desperate situation, this is not your solution overnight. It will not happen because people will not trust you because they shouldn't trust you, right? And I'm not saying you're a bad person if that's your situation. I'm simply saying that if you're desperate, it appears desperate and people can smell it, right? Don't worry about selling things. Show people how to do things that create a future for them, and people will appreciate that. So that's really the best advice I can give, because I talk to people all the time. They're like, well, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be, but I really need this to happen. Okay, you might. So what you should do probably is go get a part-time job in addition to whatever job you have, if that's what you need to do. Because this is not an immediate solution. And if you come out here desperate, people are going to sense that, and they're not going to vibe with you, right? Even if you're the best person on the planet, we all have that ability to corner ourselves, right? Things go wrong. That's just life. But what I can tell you is if you're out here to genuinely contribute something and honestly help people, it resonates, right? And most all of you that I talk to are very, very good people, very nice people, very sincere. But you're afraid that you will be perceived as being insincere. So I think some of these things that I've shared with you might help that. Like just be sincere, right? Just be sincere. And create value, show people how to do things. Well, you might say, hey, I've got to learn that first myself. Then learn it first yourself. But it doesn't take that long. Nothing about affiliate marketing is that challenging. It's really not. It's very straightforward. You're a middleman for a product or a service. You bring that link to people, they buy things, you make money. It's how you go about it that determines how successful you will or will not be. Okay? So I think I've said enough on that. I don't want to harp on it, but just please consider that. So let's go back over that. People are here and watching your videos, if you're teaching, if you're doing what I'm teaching, because they're looking for a solution, right? Typically that solution is more money. They don't like their job. They would like to get their husband or wife out of whatever job they're in, or they've got multiple jobs and they're tired of working that hard, right? So they're looking for a solution to that problem. So focus on bringing value was number 2, okay? Just focus on bringing value, really, just genuinely. Just think about that. When you start thinking about yourself and your concerns, stop. And think about all the other people out there with problems as well, right? And they might be the same problems you have. So simultaneously, you're solving your problem and you're helping them solve a problem as well. It's a win-win, and that's okay. But if you're double talking and trying to get people to buy things, and it's nonsense, right? Nobody wants to hear that, and nobody wants to actually do that. I think people do that out of fear because they feel like they're cornered, and maybe if they do that, they might make a few sales, and maybe they will. But the odds that they're going to last any period of time, it's pretty low. It's pretty low, because when you're talking somebody into something, it's just not worthwhile. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Bring an honest solution, right? Whether that's a product or a service, present that and let them make up their mind. Okay, and that should take a lot of pressure off you. And then the third thing was, don't assume people are focused on you. Like, I'm going to say this bluntly, but who do you think you are? Right? Like, seriously, who do you think you are? And I don't mean that to be mean, but really, most people are focused on themselves. For real. Like, they're focused on themselves, right? You're looking at them wondering what they're thinking about you, and they're looking at you wondering what you're thinking about them. I heard somebody say something years ago that's always stuck with me, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I don't get real super philosophical on this channel, but how did he put it? He said, most people spend their lives defending themselves against somebody, or no, most people spend their lives defending themselves against an enemy that's not attacking, right? It's perceived that other people are focused on you, when in reality, they're focused on themselves and wondering what you're thinking about them. That kind of sums up my overall vibe of who I am as a person. I believe that. I believe that firmly, right? And if maybe you can look at that and see if you think there's any validity to that, that might really help you to be able to turn on that camera and just start sharing your opinion, because that's what it is, right? It's just like I always say, it's just my opinion. If you agree with me, cool. If you don't, cool. If you agree with part of it and it works for you, great. But I'm just here sharing things that have worked for me personally and that I've helped other people with in terms of mindset, since that's what this whole platform for this video, at least that I'm making, is all about. Right? It's not so much about making money particularly. It's about the mindset surrounding your ability to do the things that are going to allow you to make the money that you want to make, right? Okay, I've gone on long enough, guys. I really appreciate you putting up with me in this video. If you like this kind of content, give me a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell icon, and I will see you in the next one.